Hello, and welcome to the Daily Lab, a semi-short, semi-daily, unedited documentation of my learning and experience in everything IT. In this video, we will be continuing over-the-wire Bandit Labs. This time, we will be doing Bandit level 1 to level 2. Ready? Let's do this. So, I'm continuing on directly where I left off from the last Bandit Lab. So if you are a little lost here, then why don't you go back to that video and that will get you set up. I created a directory for Over the Wire and Bandit and went through Bandit 1 and 2 as well as explaining what it is. And yeah, so let's continue. All right. So Bandit level 1 and 2. The password for the next level is stored in a file called dash located in the home directory. Let's do this. So we're going to use the up arrow to go back to Bandit, and we are going to do Bandit 1. So SSH pass, and this time I'm going to do Bandit 1. SSH pass allows me to use the password immediately, and I'm going to use the password instead of having to type it out every time I log in. And to navigate super quick through here, I am actually using the control key plus the arrow command to move quickly. So we've got Bandit 1, SSH Bandit 1. Awesome, and we're in level 1. Password for the next level is stored in a file called dash located in the home directory. So let's do it ls dash. So this is another one that's pretty simple. In fact, in this daily lab, I might go through a couple of levels because there's quite a bit less explaining and setup. So I might actually be able to do this relatively quickly. So dash, I mean, why don't we let's go through the process of a hacker. I mean, why don't we just start from the basics? Just cat dash, right? If you don't know it, cat it. Okay. Well, that seems to be an issue. Curious. Don't know why you can't do dash. Well, let's learn a bit about the special characters that make up the shell. First of which is period, right? Your period is a directory. It's relative. So for example, a singular period means this current directory, meaning where we are. So if I did a pwd, then bandit 1 is currently equals period. It just does. Oh. That's what bandit 1 equals. And period, if you have two next to each other, then that actually equals the current directory, which is going to be the period right. Oh goodness, why can't I just, there we go. The period right there, and the second directory, or the previous directory, which is right behind it. So this would be bandit 1, and this would equal home, the home directory. Directories are divided by slash. Now slash technically equals root. And your root directory or your slash directory is your fundamental directory. In fact, if I do an exit real quick, exit, okay, and if I clear, and if I do a tree slash home slash, if I do a tree slash home, as you can see, you have home, jester, bandit, blah, 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 blah. These trees are divided by slashes. These slashes are jump points. So it would be, slash home, then you would jump using a slash to, jester, and then you jump using a slash to bandit. And all the way at the very beginning, if you did a tree slash, you would have that. And that is everything that comes out of your computer from the beginning. So if you notice all of these lines, right, and they all lead outwards to these ending units, right? And if you scroll all the way up, I know, you know that it all comes from slash or root. Another thing to understand. Let's do a clear again because that was a lot. And why don't we log back in level 1. This is important, and the reason why I'm explaining this to you, you can do it, I believe in you. The reason why I explain it to you is because you need to understand this in order to solve this level. So if you can't access dash by just catting it, how could you possibly do it? Well, you could do a cat You could do anything. You could do slash home slash student slash, or sorry, I'm sorry, slash home slash bandit1 slash dash, for example. And that would work. There you go. That's your password. Or, for example, you could do a cat dot slash, which means you don't have to do all of this. You could just do dot slash dash. And why dot slash? Because you also, keep in mind, have relative paths. You could do ls. If you are to, let's say, cd dot dot, and you did ls, bandit, all of these things, you can still ls into bandit1, and there's no thing. But then again, that's the exact problem, right? And you could do, you know, cat bandit1 slash dash, but you couldn't do it if you're already in bandit1, because then you would just be doing slash dash, and that wouldn't make sense. That you would just, again, you see how there's no slash here is a relative file or directory. So this is relative. The directory that I explained up here, right, where it starts at root and then jumps in and then jumps next, and but it starts at root, and like, so, you know, root home slash student or your name or whatever slash blah 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 blah. That is considered a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? A absolute path, or an absolute path. It'd be starting from the absolute start, and this is a relative. So yeah, anyway, it's a little confusing, but I hope you get it. I hope that makes sense too, and I hope that understands. So understanding period slash is important, because when you get advanced, you're going to see that a lot more, because it's useful. It's a time saver. Instead of having to type out bandit blah 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 blah, or typing your entire, I mean, imagine you are like 30 jumps in. Like, what if it's like, you know, slash home slash student slash this slash that, and then you've got a dash, and you're like, frick, I have to write all of that? No, you just write the period. So yeah. Anyway, why don't we copy that? And then let's get the heck out of here. Exit. And let's echo. Let's do a Control Shift V to paste, and then we'll do that into bandit2. ls. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, let's go into, why don't we just jump into bandit2? Or level 2 to 3. Awesome, awesome. Let's do this. Okay. So let's SSH, go to bandit2, and let's log in. Hallelujah. Okay, so bandit2 or level 2, let's go. The password for the next level is stored in a file called spaces in this file name located in the home directory. The password for the next level is stored in a file called, oh, okay, so the password for the next directory is stored in a file called spaces in this file name. If we ls, see spaces in this file name. All right, well, again, start from the basics. Cat spaces in this file name. What did we see happen? Well, cat took every single one of these, and because it was separated by a space, it listed or executed the cat command on spaces individually, in individually, this individually, and file name individually. What if we did a cat dot slash spaces in this file name? Have a similar problem. So the solution to the last level does not work here. You can't copy and paste your solutions. You got to come up with a new answer. The dot slash, it just did dot slash spaces and then in and this file name and this. Well, the solution to this is actually really, really simple, right? Now, if you do like an echo command, right? Let's say you type an echo command. What is a very common way of typing an echo command? Sure, you could type an echo, hello world, I am hungry, boyo. But also, what do people do? They do this. Hello world. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so they use those, what is that, ellipses? What this called? Quotes, quotations. quotation marks, whatever. I'm stupid. So in the quotation marks, so we could do cat spaces in this file name. There you go. That was super simple. Again, we are starting at the very basics. So this stuff, if you have, if you don't know anything about Linux, then yeah, this is super fundamental. You've got to know this. But I personally already know this stuff. I took a college class and wow, yay. The college class does not take you as far as you think, I'll tell you what, but it is super helpful. It really, it did. So I'm going to copy this real quick. And I'm also going to show you a couple other solutions to this. So you could do cat spaces. I think you could do backslash in backslash this backslash file name. Ooh, wait. Oh, well, that worked. I was going to do backslash again. Whatever. Doesn't work. So that works too. Now, I saw this because John Hammond did it in his video, and I remembered it. And this is useful. I mean, this works. I don't really know why. I believe it's because, let's think about it for a sec. If we did echo spaces backslash hello, it would do echo spaces hello. But if we did echo spaces backslash, echo spaces backslash, it wants you to write hello. Interesting, right? So I'm not really sure. I wish I could tell you. Why does backslash work as quotations Linux? Why don't we Google it? Why not? I don't actually have a perfect answer to this. Times when quotes are required, one example. Let's explain backslash Linux explained. Why don't we look at it? Why don't we see what we can find here? The backslash is an escape character to tell the shell not to interpret the some special characters. In your case, it escapes the space character in shell. A space is normally used to split arguments. Okay, so what an excellent answer. So the backslash is the escape character and tells the shell, why don't I explain it to you this way? Boom, now I can't read it. So they say, you know what they say, you learn a lot more of what you teach. So I'm not going to read from the lines. I'm just going to try to explain what I just read. So backslashes, so if you do echo spaces backslash, it's an escape character and it tells you not to read the next line. So if you did echo spaces, period, it just reads it as a space and not a directory, right? If you did echo, or what if we did make echo spaces backslash. Here's a great example. Hello. See what happened there. So if you do echo spaces backslash hello, you'll see that it ignored the caret symbol as a special character, which we know is a special character. And it just typed it out, which makes sense because if you did echo spaces into hello, what would end up happening is it would take spaces and put it into a hello text file. So that backslash actually tells you, hey, ignore this. So that makes sense. It ignores all the spaces. So yeah, actually I just learned something new there. I knew that he did it and I kind of barely understood what he explained, but yeah. So I think that's it for this video. We learned a lot, I think. We learned a bit more about foundations. I mean, we solved a couple of problems. We learned, we learned about the dash and how to kind of manipulate your text lines whenever you are searching for things and using commands in order to kind of manipulate things it's kind of like fine tuning, right? We're almost learning how to fine tune commands. Like anybody can type echo spaces, right? But can everybody type echo spaces caret hello? No, maybe not unless they understand these special things. So we learned a couple of things. We learned about backslash. We learned about periods and how they relate to directories. We learned about the / and how it relates to root and jumping between files and directories. And we learned a little bit yeah, I think that's pretty good. So thank you for watching and have a good one.